started with our first color, which is going to be the color orange. So take a look in your art box and find the color orange. Today, I will be using colored pencils, but you can use crayons, markers, or anything you have in your art box. So once you find the color orange, we're going to use it on Despereaux's hat. So we can start out here by outlining it with whatever you're using. I am going to use my colored pencils to first outline it and color it in here on the left side. Then we can move on to the top area of Despereaux's hat, just like so. And this is a fun page here with Despereaux and his sewing needle that he's holding up in the air. As we know, Despereaux used that sewing needle as his little sword. So let's go ahead and outline this area here with this colored pencil, just like so. And then we can color it in because we know where we can stop and start, just like that. Beautiful. And just go from left to right, just like so. And if you have any other colors, if you don't have orange available, feel free to get as creative as you want. You can also color this in a different color. That's the beautiful part about creativity and artwork. Okay, beautiful. So once you are done with coloring in Despereaux's hat, let's move on to the next color, which will be a pink. So find any pink in your art box, and we're going to use pink on a few different places today on our Despereaux, which is going to be on the inside here of Despereaux's big ears and Despereaux's nose. So let's go ahead and start out here on the left side with Despereaux's first ear. You want to just color that in as best as you can. If you are using colored pencils as well, if you can push down a little bit more, you'll get even more color coming off of the page. So feel free to do that if you are using colored pencils like I am today. And you can just go up and down with it and continue to outline it as you go along the shape of Despereaux's large ears, just like that. Perfect. And we're almost finished here with our first ear. And then we get to move on to a few places on Despereaux's face. First, starting out with the nose. So we're going to use this same pink right in here in the middle of Despereaux's face with the nose. So use it right in there. Just follow that shape, just like that. And then we're going to use it right in here. You see Despereaux's teeth. In between his teeth, we want to get that little space. That is Despereaux's tongue. So let's not forget that. Let's get in there. It's very small, so just take your time. And then once you do that, let's move on back out to the right side, which is Despereaux's right ear. So let's get in there, just like that. Beautiful. And this little spot here underneath his arm. And then we can go back up top and finish the rest of that ear. Just like that. Despereaux's round ears here. Beautiful. Now we can go ahead and color that in with your pink. You have a lot of space to work with here, so you can have a good fun time letting your hand just go around that page. Perfect. Okay, great. So now that we finished coloring in both of Despereaux's ears and a couple parts of his face, let's move on to getting the next color, which will be black. So let's grab black. This will be a very quick color for us out of your art box. And we're going to use it again on the inside of Despereaux's mouth. So right next to his tongue, if you take a look, there's some little spaces, these little spaces right in here. So color that in with your black. It's very small. So hopefully you have a sharpened crayon, or you could even use the back of a crayon. Sometimes you can use, if this were a crayon, the back of the crayon, if it's nice and sharp, you could just use that back to get right in there. But if you have a sharp colored pencil or a sharpened crayon, this should be a little bit easier for you. But again, does not have to be perfect. Just color it in because you get the effect of the inside of Despereaux's mouth. So once you're done with that, we can move on to coloring in part of Despereaux's costume. So let's grab the color brown. So grab the color brown from your art box and let's use that on a few different places. Right here, let's start with the middle of Despereaux's outfit. This will be in brown right in here, just like that. And of course, we want to get the other side. We have a crisscross in the middle of his shirt. And once you do that, let's move on down to Despereaux's belt. So right in here, we want to color this in just like that with our same brown color. Beautiful. And we have another part of his outfit right here where Despereaux's legs are. Let's color this in brown as well. So right in here, let's start with the left leg and color that in. And we will follow this same line all the way from left to right with that brown for Despereaux's legs, just like that. And let's go on now to the right leg. So just like this, color that in. Beautiful. Y'all doing a terrific job at home. Hopefully you're having a fun time with this page. Just like this. Okay, excellent. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so now that we're done with that, we're done with brown. So you can move that to the side. Let's move on to our next color, which will be gray. So if you have a gray or a silver similar to this, we're going to actually use this to color in the sewing needle that Despereaux uses as his little sword. So you can start out towards the bottom and then we'll work our way up. So just get in here right around his fingers and we can work our way up just like this. And it gets a little tricky as you move up because it gets thinner and thinner. So this needle gets thinner and thinner. So as you move up the sewing needle, just take your time and move a little slower just to make sure you don't color it in too much. But as you get closer to the top, use a little less of your crayon or your colored pencil or marker. Beautiful. So now we've colored in Despereaux's needle and we're going to move on to our next color, which is going to be a green. So if you have any green or a dark green, you can go ahead and grab that from your art box and we're going to use it on the rest of the outfit for our Despereaux. So let's go ahead and color it in with the left arm first, where he is holding up that sewing needle, just like so. And then we're going to move on down to the rest of his body. So let's continue to move along below the left ear, just like that. Right in here as well. Excellent. And let's leave this area here in white. We'll come back shortly with another color for that area. But color around here, the browns, we're working around all of those colors, just like that. And right in here, right underneath the belt, we're going to get this area with the same green, just like that. Let's also color in Despereaux's shoes with the same color because they match. They're going to match his green shirt. Excellent. And then we can keep moving on to the rest of his outfit, making sure we leave that little area underneath his face there where his chest area is white. So we can color that in a little bit with a different color. So just keep moving along and coloring that in as best as you possibly can, outlining it if it makes it easier for you along the way. And we are just about finishing up with the top part of Despereaux's outfit. Very nice. So now his right arm is just about finished, just like that. And now we can move on to the bottom part of that shirt, coloring it in the same way we did on the left side. Let me know in the comments if there's another character you would like to see from this movie or any movies that are your favorites. And we'll make sure we work them into the coloring channel here together. You can draw them or color them. And now the last shoe here on the right. Beautiful, just like that. Let's color that in. And we are just about finished with this particular color, and we can move on to what's going to be our last color, which will be a gold or any type of yellow color you have. So if you have a gold color or a yellow color, that will work just fine. And we're going to use this to color in the rest of our Despereaux skin. So right over here, we could start out with the hand, and you could see how that gold is starting to really add a great, beautiful effect to the rest of the page. Now we want to move on to Despereaux's face, just like that. And like I said, if you have a gold color or something similar, that's excellent. And if not, that's totally fine. You can always just use a regular yellow or something in the yellow family. That'll look just as great on your page. So just color around the nose and mouth areas very carefully. You can always substitute colors as best as you can here at Sam School Colors. That's the fun part about getting creative with it. And if you use a different color, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know how it turned out and how it looks on your page. And it's something I could probably try in the future. That would be nice. I can add it to something I do later on. All your ideas come together. Okay, so right in here underneath the mouth is the bottom lip for our Despereaux. So we want to color that in. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is the area we left white before. Let's color that in with our same gold color, just like that. Excellent. And let's continue to go around his face and get around the eye there, just like that. And we're going to finish out the rest of his face and leave now into his ear. So we had the rest of his ear still in white, if you remember. So we can go ahead and now color that in, finishing out the rest of that round ear, just like that, with that gold color. Beautiful. Once that gold hits the page, or yellow if you're using that, it starts to all come together very nicely. So we have two little areas left. We have Despereaux's hand, which we want to use that same color. And last but not least is Despereaux's tail. So right behind here, let's get that tail with that same color that we're using on his body, and finishing it out there at the very end of his tail. So now we finished coloring in our page of Despereaux together using 7 colors.